But oh, yay!
Oh my God. Yay!
I wanted to thank you again for writing for We Found Time. I loved your essay, and it was so nice of you to post about it. And I'm glad your fans were reading it because it was so good. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I was excited to do it. You were technically my first commissioned article, and that was exciting for me. That was my first. So you popped my commission cherry.
Oh gosh, I am so honored. I mean,
Yeah.
do you want to tell people a little more about your essay and what you wrote about?
Yeah, sure. So I've been living a very bizarre dichotomy for 16 years, working as an actress, and mean all the while kind of loathing screens, and not really having a hugely vested interest in stories that were told on screens. I really liked stories that were told on paper. And then I had children, and I have two boys, and one of them is now almost 9 years old, and the other one is four. But the 9-year-old has become the real challenge because, of course, all of his friends have lots of screens and lots of access to screens, and they want to be watching. He wants to be watching movies and playing video games and doing all kinds of things, and I struggle with that. And 9 years of grappling and struggling, and then really the last few years of him really developing his own will and his own tastes and his own little sense of self, and then grappling with that and how I balance um, essentially kind of censoring what he sees, but also being open to letting him choose for himself, has really led me down some interesting paths of kind of realizing the way that I just blanket vilify screens in my mind, and that actually they don't have to be all bad. And recently I've been really challenging myself to spend more time allowing my child to sort of introduce me to what he is inspired by on screens and what he likes. And then I also suddenly realized that I'm not contributing to his taste building or to his screen watching in the ways that I would like to be as a parent. I'm not seeking out the content that I think is incredible and then telling him, I really want you to watch this even if you think you won't like it. The same way that I'm going to sit down and watch, I don't know, Kong Skull Island with you, even though I have no desire to see that movie. Like that's the give and take that I'm working on with my oldest son, particularly right now. And what I really hope the fruits of that are is that we both just become so much more open and tolerant of our differences, and just in general of like I hope he grows up to be the kind of man who has grace and tolerance for a woman's taste or things that women might be interested in, or somebody else who's a man or a woman or whoever that might be interested in that he's not, and to recognize that that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's different, and just really broadening our understanding of each other through watching movies together and doing it communally and talking about what we're watching instead of using the screen as a babysitter and sort of saying, yeah, go watch a movie. Oh, I can have a nap, or I can get some work done, or I can whatever else. Saying, yeah, let's go sit down and watch something we really want to see together, and use that as a time to bond and connect and grow.
And I found it so interesting in the piece how you hadn't sort of thought when accepting your movie roles as much about how it would affect the kids as sort of what what spoke to you personally or what you're interested in. And now there's like this whole other level in your decision making process. Like, do you feel like having thought about it, you'll still make the same kind of decisions, or you think you're off on like a whole new way, and there'll be like now like small little indie films about like.
No, I think I actually think that the way I was making, I don't think that I feel that the process is something that I want to change. I write something in the article where I talk about giving my son autonomy in his choices for what he watches, and that I try very hard not to censor him because I want him to have these experiences that are really driven by his own growing sense of self and identity and taste. And um, in the same way, I think it's really important that parents have their own sense of self and identity that is outside of being a parent. And when I choose films, I choose them for me. I choose them for what my needs are and what my professional goals are. And if I don't want my kids to see them, then they don't have to see them. but I don't have to stop making them. And there are parents out there that really, really benefit from having their kids see these movies and like have zero problem with the violence inherent in these movies and think that they're really meaningful and really teaching like incredible ethics and heroism and, you know, all kinds of things that come along with this dual, you know, this double-edged sword of violence. And so for me, I'll continue making those choices for me. And then my parental choices can come along after.
What's up with the Squicker Wonkers these
Oh
days?
my gosh, what is up with the Squicker Wonkers? I brought them for people who
Oh,
haven't seen
good.
the covers yet because they're so beautiful.
Aw.
Yeah. I have gone on a Squicker hiatus right now and am taking time to refill my tanks. I think a lot of us mamas can relate to this crazy load that we take on when we're wifing and mothering and working and housing and self-caring all at the same time. And I've had a pretty incredible year. It's been, the load has been immense this year, and I had to look around and just make really hard decisions about my priorities. And ultimately, this year, my priorities really fell onto my children. And I just really wanted to be with them, like wholly and completely with them. I've had a very busy 5 years, and one of my boys is only 4.5. And so his whole life, Mama has just been distracted and busy. And I can't help but I had this moment of pause this year, many, many moments of pause this year where I looked at him and just felt like, oh my God, I missed it all. I mean, of course I didn't. I was there, but just feeling like I don't want to miss another second, not one more second. And so I've put my other baby, the Squicker Wonkers, on hold, on pause, and it's still there with me. I can't help it. I'm writing whenever I have a moment of inspiration or some time. But I'm just not pursuing the great big beast that is publishing right now. It's just incredibly consuming and exhausting and difficult. And so I'm just really sticking to the easy, happy, lovely, creative part of doing the writing and working with Rodrigo in Brazil. And he's still illustrating, and we'll see. I don't know.
Thank you publicly for writing for We Found Time and for contributing your thoughts and feelings and telling people about them. And it's so meaningful when mothers can, not just mothers, but as a mother, to hear other people's perspectives on it really helped me. So anyway, thank you.
Well, I'm going to add one last thing, and we might get cut off because of the battery, but I just thought of it when you said I as a mother. I had a formative moment as a mother with a friend when she was way ahead of me in her motherhood. Her girls are like, her girls are in their teens already. And so she went through the whole, what do we do about social media thing already. And I was like, she was asking me, and I was like, I don't have a clue. I didn't grow up with social media. None of us did. Like, I don't know what the rules are, and I don't know where I'm going to go when I get there. And I was so gratified when she finally kind of came to her place with it. And I remember holding up and being like, I will forever remember this really, really wise thing she did, which was she has these incredible daughters who are hyper responsible and talented and smart and like all these things. So she was like, I want to honor that, and I want to let them have their independence with social media. So what she did is her daughter really was 12 or 13, really wanted to be on Instagram. She said, okay, here's the deal. You can go on Instagram under a few conditions. One is mommy has to be able to follow you. Two is, and this was the one that I was like, this is amazing. For every picture you post of yourself, you have to post 7 pictures of the world around you. And I thought, what a wise thing to help navigate for her in a very tangible way, that it's okay to look at the world and see its beauty and want to share it with other people. But if all you're doing is just looking at yourself and waiting for affirmation, then that's where it gets toxic. And I thought that was such a smart mama move, and I was going to hang on to that one. So I know that feeling of when you're just so gratified to be talking to other moms and be like, hang on a minute, like I'm going to take that one, and that's going to help me, and because we all need help. It's such a crapshoot. We don't know what we're doing.
No clue. I'm
No,
messing up right and left.
yeah. Right now, we are both messing up
I'm totally messing up right now.
and killing it, and we're totally killing it, right?
Oh my gosh, too funny. Okay, you
Okay.
go charge your battery. Goodbye. Thank you for
I
doing
love you.
this. Okay, love you.
Bye.
Bye.